is I will pair them up. I have about 20 cards. Say if like there's 20 students in the class, 20 cards, and they're two per, one for each student, but they're grouped into two already. They're just random mixed, and they're the top 10 reasons that relationships fail. And I want them to learn how to identify with the type of stress that they're going through, and to work towards either avoiding it or confronting it based on and seeing how, and having them build the confidence to go, okay, I'm going through this. What could I do to avoid it? What could I do to confront it?
To be on laughs, well, a lot of people don't laugh. No, actually, if you even smile, a lot of times when I go to work and I'm smiling, they're like, "What are you so happy about?" So it's like, okay, well, obviously people need some laughs. Or the focusing activities is we just stop laughing. We might have to force ourselves to stop laughing at first, but we just stop laughing, and eventually, after you stop laughing at other people while they're laughing, and then it continues, and you're just laughing and having a good time, and then you start getting this feeling in your stomach that it kind of burns, and you, by that laugh. And once you want to actually end it, at that point in time, it's kind of hard to laugh, because then you look at somebody else, and they're starting to calm down, and you start laughing again for no apparent reason. Have a good time, and the 8 hours or 12 hours, however many hours you're working, go a lot faster than the 8 hours of the other person.
I'm a big supporter of meditation because it is a way to calm me down. And what I want to do, what I want to teach, is that there are different types of meditation, not just what you see with the guy with his legs crossed over and him going like this, going There's many different ways that people could meditate. A lot of things you can call it walking, just looking at nature. Some, depending on a religion, praying is a form of meditation. I want to get that to across students and say, if you feel stressed, usually a little prayer here and there to whomever you believe in, that kind of relieves stress a little bit. And the activity that I had was the typical normal way of sitting on the floor with a candle in the middle of the circle, playing some kind of soothing music, and kind of having everybody just relax their muscles, relax their bodies, think of all the negativity, and then just pushing it out. Making you think of all the anxiety that you feel, all the stress that you feel, deep breathing in and out for about 10-15 minutes or so, depending on the time of class, and just imagine you're just pushing it out. Like the stress is a dark cloud, and your heart and your mind are like the sunlight, you're trying to push those clouds away.
Foods are definitely, the main activity would be having the students write down the favorite food that they normally eat. And then we talk about, after we talk about what foods actually cause most stress to the body, and the foods that actually relieve stress to the body, they'll circle the ones that add most stress to the body, and they'll underline the ones that actually relieve the stress from the body. And the ones that they end up circling, they will try to think of an alternative type of food to replace in that, and they'll get help from the classmates to come up with the ideas of the foods that help relieve stress. And some of those are just raw fruits and vegetables.
The next one is just simple activities to lessen stress. And these are lessons, or these are activities they can do during the day. They can do them at home with friends. The first activity we would do in class is make puppets. Kind of make them expand on their creativity. Take some kind of like a sock or a paper bag. Have them create their own characters and have them interact with their own characters and with their classmates' characters. Another one would be gardening. If I were to be a middle school teacher someday, I would have my students bring in some kind of plants, like a flower or not something like a tree, but something simple, something they could take care of, something they could, see grow and, kind of appreciate how nature grows in the classroom and how they can relieve stress by doing that, by even just taking care of something. Third one is, these are internet activities that I found through this website, and it's really cool that you can design a kaleidoscope, your own kaleidoscope, and one side has what it views, and you can place little patterns into this kaleidoscope, and you'll see how the kaleidoscope forms on the other side.
And this one pretty much relates to this one. It's basically ways that you wouldn't necessarily think that would relieve stress, but but it's just a little bit, in a way, creative, but it's everyday things that you might end up doing. That the main activity that would be done is every person will write a note that they're going, a nice note about somebody that they're going to give them, because passing notes is one thing that would actually relieve stress if it's not discriminating against somebody. If it's just fruitful stuff and fun and relaxing kind of notes, it will help relieve stress. So each person will write something like that to every other person in that room, and they'll end up passing it one at a time to each other, just kind of, so everybody would have one note passed to them. So it wouldn't just be one person gets half of them and then everybody else is few and far behind. And some other ways to relieve stress, one would be daydreaming. Naps is one which most people don't think of. Getting hugs from loved ones. Playing with pets. I love to play with the cats and the dogs when I was younger, and singing whatever favorite song you might want to sing. Usually when I sing, sometimes at work, is some Frank Sinatra songs. Every now and again I just start singing Strangers in the Night, Exchanging Glances.
Exercise and stress relief, there's a lot of things you can do with this. It also benefits teaching students how to live healthy lives, also to eat right, but also the fact that stress relief comes from exercising, getting the muscles going, getting good sweat going. They kind of feel relaxed, they kind of feel like, okay, all their aggression, all their stress, all their anxiety is out the window because they exerted all that into their exercises. The activity that I would do, there's a circuit that I got offline that'll be on the next slide, is just basic exercises, basic no weight exercises that they could do in a minute, 2 minute kind of a circuit. Two students will start on one thing and they all rotate through all, I think, 12 exercises there are. And it kind of shows, or kind of demonstrates to them that, yeah, you're going to get stressful during the time because the students probably want to quit after the first or second, but they have to push through it. They have to use that stress to get through the exercise. And they do the exercise, each exercise for about a minute, and they
music, which I kind of went back to with singing with Frank Sinatra, but the main activity would be, well, I have a lot of different types of music. I actually collect stuff of bluegrass and jazz and classical and folk and all these other kinds of music. So I would bring them in and have the students try to pick out what they think might be relaxing. Kind of look at some of the CDs and try to figure out which ones by kind of looking at the songs and maybe by reading the information about these people, about the music, and then after they listen to it, they can actually see how they might be wrong or right on what types of music they might think is relaxing. And there's different times to listen to music that would help when paying bills, which they wouldn't know at that moment in time, but if you're paying a lot of bills, you might want to listen to some calming.
Next day would be sports and stress, being able to teach them not only the physical part of sports, but also the mentality of sports. The mentality of sports can have a negative and also a positive effect on students, especially during that age when they're starting to become more physically active. I would show a clip from YouTube or a news clip about parents and sports rage, where parents are yelling at their own children when they don't perform as well. These kids are supposed to have fun, they're supposed to be enjoying the sport, and these parents who yell at the officials, who yell at their own kids, who yell at other kids, who yell at other parents as well, they see that and they think, you know, this is not fun anymore. This is not enjoyable for me. I'm supposed to enjoy basketball, not have to see mom or dad yelling at the refs or yelling at my coach because it embarrasses me. Positive stress would be, again, goes with the exercising and stress relief. They, they get out of school, they alleviate their stress through physical activity. A coach who says a motivating speech at halftime or before a game kind of pumps them up. But some coaches, they don't usually like to use motivation speeches because students or athletes take it the wrong way, they take it more negatively than the other players, and they don't perform as well. Coaches need to try and be more positive, not cut down their own players when they don't perform as well. That provides more stress and more negativity in their life, and that's something that they don't need to do. This is an assignment or an activity where I would pass out cards, and there's 4 colors designating blue, red, green, and orange. Red cards would be the angry parents yelling at an official. How would they limit that? How do they confront that? Orange cards are the athletes themselves who use steroids as well, who will also impact their students on why steroids are illegal, why they're not good to use. Green cards are natural athletes, how they train for games, how they mentally prepare themselves. Blue cards are common parents at a sporting event, and they see an angry parent yelling at officials. What do they do to confront that parent?
Water, it's a very important thing, especially when you exercise. The activity would be, every student would get a bottle of water, and during the whole time that I'm talking about water, they'll be slowly drinking from the water and feeling it dripping down the refreshment going down their throat, and that would just be relaxing and drinking that water instead of like chugging it down whenever you're thirsty. But one thing they don't realize about thirst, because most people don't realize about thirst, when you're thirsty, you're actually partially dehydrated. So that's actually one thing bad about that, and most people don't realize that. And one other thing about water that people don't realize is that when they like, oh, I can't drink water, I'll get bloated. Actually, if you drink enough water, you won't get bloated. It's actually whenever you don't get enough water is when you start getting bloated. But it has several different things to it that actually help the body immensely.
The unit assessment is just a simple journal activity that they would do throughout the semester. They would write down the date, what type of stress they were feeling, and what did they do to alleviate that stress. And this will be turned in at the end of the semester, and the teacher can see how they were able to relieve their stress. So whenever you're ready, I'll play this music, and you can focus on the candle, or you can close your eyes and kind of feel the stress leaving your body. And I know everybody's stressed out right now. So. And right. And yes, if you're wondering, those are whale songs. Okay. research has shown that male songs actually help soothe meditation. That's why I think this.